People Places, Sarah Zed here. Today we are talking about the fact that I was a possession. And I shouldn't have been. You know what? I should have been the victim in that scenario. I shouldn't have been like one of the characters. Hi, so I'm Adam Walsh. What was the Adam Walsh haunting that's very famous in true crime? So a long time ago, I have multiple personality disorder and my family's superstitious. This is where things went wrong and why they went wrong. I famously have MPD, not DID, so they each have a different face and persona. And I also have Parkinson's and resides, and sometimes wake up in layers of my birth mother. Sorry, hiccups. Birth mother. Very famously, until we were superstitious, we just knew trauma broke me into split personalities as a family. No, famously. Like, until there was a superstition there, I was just sick and thought I was different people and I was a schizophrenic. And it was fine, and it was good, and I didn't have to hide it in front of the Cohen family crest, and it was perfect. My family still, despite this, did not like seeing my split personalities, and Serenity used to be one of them, but we let him go because he was too feminine. But like, oh my god, was my family like obsessed with the fact that some of them were nicer than I was. I still am known as Sybil Davidson. So if you want to know what the condition is of my possessions, like they thought superstitiously, it would be multiple personality disorder, a real understood disorder where you just think you're different people, like Dissociative Jess and Dissociated did on YouTube. I famously don't know where to start with what went wrong, but it started getting wrong when my brother was doing black magic curses at the house. He just thought, you know what? I'm sick of all this. We can curse it away. And my family listened to him on cursing me, which is where things started to skyrocket. They started to think as time progressed that I did not have a solo, like, chosen personality. They just thought, oh, no, we don't have one son. We have many sons. And this has always been incorrect. Adam Snowflake is the main personality of Adam Snowflake. Adam Snowflake has one chosen person he remembers forever, and it's Adam Snowflake. No matter how severe my multiple personalities get, I do have a host. I do have a main personality, and it stays Adam Snowflake, not Adam Walsh, who this all correlates to, not Sarah Berry, who is a famous character that you'll hear about at the end. A lot of her haunting is stolen from ours, and we don't care. We just think she based it on hearing about this one.
That is a good hot chocolate. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Not a possession, just age risk. Hot cocoa, yeah, boy.
So famously, as things progress, my family gets themselves cursed to talk with their hands because he was doing hand ritual to hand ritual, hoping to cleanse away different tattoos that my altars have right here. Because if you have multiple personality disorder, your split personality can have a tattoo even ingrained on their skin that your main personality doesn't, and it'll fade when it's not that personality, like instantly, like that. So it was just like he was trying to get rid of like different hand tattoos, and they were forced to talk like this with their hands, like over and over and over again. And it was how they were talking, and how historically my brother was also in Skylar Berry's family, so that was like a thing. And it just kept getting more and more superstitious about what my split personalities really were. Until they started addressing Adam's Snowflake as my flashbacks, and slowly but surely appeared to be replacement possessions of the Cohen family. They didn't seem like my family. My family has always had characters and borrowed people they identify with, but this was like something different. They seemed like they were like different people, different kinds of histories. I normally identify my split personalities as possessions over this, but like, oh my god, is this not a normal possession story? This is like a haunting at this point. So famously, it gets more and more exaggerated until it kind of becomes clear that they think Adam is the possession and that male is the possessions. It turns from a innocent haunting that was kind of supernatural for me to live through to a schizophrenic transphobia overnight. The main personality of the emoji system, Adam Snowflake, was born biologically male and cisgender male. He has many transgender male personalities. However, the brain personality was born biologically male. There is like no need to force a female identity on that if the main person is male and there is a main person. But it just became them not listening to me because you're possessed, you're unreliable, and they had to like keep making it up as they went, and became a very like toxic environment for me, where in the end they realized that I did have a main personality. I did. It was Adam. I was male, and it just became so heartbreaking that they sold ever having been the souls in the story to the deal's warlock, God, and Mephisto. So they sold their souls of who they would have been even knowing about my possessions. It turns out I had to sell my character too, and so I sold my character and it became The Haunting of Sarah Barry, where if you look at the retrospective of what came after it, it was me as a possession in her head. But this isn't possible unless it was really a soul I sold. So no, there was a separate haunting that we were, and it was a separate thing where we just like sold memories of my multiple personalities and seeing it as possessions. And it was just like a contract not to be the characters. And we have the haunting of Sarah Barry. But famously, it was a separate haunting of Adam Walsh and his split personalities. Not only that, but it was getting like poltergeist like with what my altars were saying and doing, because they were bringing supernatural things onto my altars and they were doing casting on my altars and they started operating like ghosts at the time. It was really weird for Serenity to be like, no! And then the plates fly and like just crash and like Serenity is not a supernatural possession. I just have split personalities, dude. So yeah, I guess I do consider myself possessed and by primordial forces, but oh my god, is it a functional split personality system? And not what any of that was. Story time over.